The hidden time bomb. Imagine this. You're driving home, feeling safe, unaware that a deadly bomb is inches from your face. For millions of people, this wasn't a nightmare. It was their reality. Takata, a giant in the automotive world, supplied airbags to the biggest car companies on Earth. But behind the scenes, a catastrophic design flaw was turning these life-saving devices into shrapnel launchers. We're uncovering the story of the Takata Airbag scandal, the deadliest recall in history. How did a simple component fail so spectacularly? Why did they ignore the warning signs for years? We'll trace the science of the explosion, the corporate cover-up, and the global crisis that followed. This is a story of corporate negligence on a scale rarely seen before. Over 25 people lost their lives, and millions of cars were flagged as ticking time bombs. By the end of this video, you'll understand the massive risk hidden in plain sight. We're diving into the memos, the court cases, and the engineering decisions that cost lives. This is the mystery of the Takata scandal. The science of the explosion. At the heart of the scandal was a chemical called ammonium nitrate. Takata chose this to save money, ignoring its tendency to become unstable when exposed to moisture and heat. Over time, the chemical would degrade, turning the inflator into a pressure vessel that couldn't handle the force of an airbag deployment. When the crash sensor finally triggered, the inflator would shatter instead of inflating the bag, spraying jagged metal shrapnel directly into the passenger cabin. It wasn't just a failure. It was a deadly weaponization of a safety device. Engineers knew that humidity was a major risk factor, but the production kept rolling anyway. They rushed the testing, skipped critical safety steps, and shipped millions of units globally. The science was clear, yet the corporate greed was louder than the engineering warnings. They were playing a dangerous game with chemistry and human lives, and the consequences were immediate. Every deployment in a humid environment became a potential fatality. It was a failure of the most basic engineering principles, ignored for the sake of mass production and profit margins. The results were not just tragic, they were entirely predictable. Ignored warnings. The most shocking part? They knew. For years, Takata's own internal tests showed evidence of the inflators rupturing. There were email chains documenting these failures. Yet they were downplayed, deleted, or hidden from the car manufacturers they supplied. They were effectively gambling with the safety of drivers around the world. Every warning sign was a call to stop production, but the order was to keep going. They feared that admitting to the defect would destroy their market share and lead to massive lawsuits. Instead of honesty, they chose to double down on the deception. They manipulated test data and presented a false image of safety to the global automotive industry. Trust was the currency of their business, and they were spending it on a lie. When the first reports of injuries surfaced, they blamed everything but the design itself. Poor installation, old parts, even user error. It was a masterclass in deflection, avoiding accountability at every turn. But the trail of evidence was growing, and the secret was becoming harder to keep. The engineering team was essentially silenced, unable to stop a product they knew would kill. The global recall crisis. When the truth finally broke, the recall became the largest and most complex in the history of the auto industry. Millions of vehicles across dozens of brands were affected, from economy cars to luxury SUVs. The logistics of finding and fixing these cars were a nightmare, stretching the capacity of service centers worldwide. Manufacturers were furious, realizing they had been sold a ticking time bomb by their supplier. It triggered a global panic, with governments issuing urgent safety alerts, urging drivers to stop using their vehicles immediately. The recall wasn't just a task. It was a race against time to prevent further deaths. Takata was overwhelmed, unable to meet the demand for replacement inflators, leaving millions at risk for months or even years. The financial strain was immense. as costs ballooned into the tens of billions of dollars. It was a complete breakdown of the global supply chain, showing just how interconnected the industry had become. The recall forced a massive shift in industry standards, leading to stricter regulations and improved testing protocols worldwide. Every dealership became a front line in the battle against the defect. The crisis was a wake-up call that the automotive industry could not ignore. The legal fallout. The legal aftermath was just as explosive as the airbags themselves. Takata faced massive class action lawsuits, criminal investigations, and billions in fines. The company, once a proud leader in safety tech, was forced to file for bankruptcy. Executives were indicted for their roles in the cover-up, and the brand name essentially disappeared from the market. It was a total corporate disintegration, brought on by the very thing they tried so hard to hide. The legal system finally held them accountable, showing that corporate power has its limits. The settlements provided some justice for the families, but they couldn't undo the loss. It was a stark lesson for every company in the world. Honesty is not just an ethical requirement, it is a business necessity. The investigation uncovered decades of systemic rot, proving that the culture at Takata had fostered this catastrophe. The fall of Takata was swift and brutal, serving as a warning to any company that values profit over human safety. The records from the trial remain a testament to the cost of greed and the power of accountability. They lost everything: their company, their reputation, and their place in history. The legacy of Takata is one we must never forget. Don't forget to like and subscribe. We'll see you in the next one.